What's going on, you guys? This is a clip from a recent trading mentorship group where I'm talking about the importance of drawdown management as well as some tips to avoiding tilt. Typically, developing traders, they really are not good at managing drawdown. They get uncomfortable. They start to put on extra risk when they should be taking less risk. And then they go on tilt, end up compounding those losses, or sometimes they end up blowing accounts. This clip is a little rant I had in a recent trading mentorship group. It is a very audio forward clip, so there's not going to be much happening on the screen. We have these group coaching sessions every week. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Kyle. I'm a full-time futures trader and founder of Opinicus. We help traders make money trading futures using techniques that are pretty boring, but they are effective. Hope you guys enjoy this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. Drawdown management is part of life as a trader. And really it's like one of the most important parts. Everyone is fine and doing well when the equity curve is pressing the highs, you're making money, but if you can't handle drawdown as a trader, ultimately you're just not going to progress in the way that you want to until you beat that level. So drawdown management, very, very important. Typically what happens is after a loss or maybe two consecutive losses, traders will kind of lose their form. They'll deviate from their system. They're aggravated. I mean, it's frustrating. It's annoying. It's annoying. There are definitely some uglier words we could use for those situations, right? But the point is that you have to keep your composure. Like you have to stay cool. You have to focus on the long game. You have to sit with those emotions and just be okay with it and not try to alleviate them in that moment. Because really that's what tilt is. If we boil it down to just like one sentence, it's not being okay with that crappy feeling that you have after a loss, and it's trying to remedy it immediately, like right away. So you gotta get comfortable with, all right, you know what? I took a loss, whatever. I'm not going to do anything crazy here because it's not going to be in my best interest long term. I'm just going to wait for the next A+ opportunity. And yeah, definitely take some time to get to that, level-headed approach. But that is what's required to reach the higher levels. The tilt is tough. Especially, I do think prop firms actually, they are a great tool, especially for underfunded. They're a great tool, especially for gaining leverage. But if you're on tilt, man, they can be dangerous because you can just cycle through those accounts. You can just be treating it like a lotto ticket. Have to get out of that mentality. Absolutely have to get out of that mentality. The expenses add up quickly. If you're constantly swiping the credit card to add accounts, I know it's easy to do and they make it easy to do, but we really have to reset the mindset on playing the long game. One of the biggest solutions for that is to really grade yourself based on not end of day P&L, but how well you're following your system, how well you're following your rules. And if you break your rule at the end of the day, even if it was green, really recognizing that you broke your rule and not being happy about it. Like that is a mistake. That is a mistake. And it's hard to do that, especially if, you had a nice profitable day. But if we get paid for breaking a rule, that's like one of the worst things that can happen, because now you've informed our reward system, our dopamine reward system, that, when you do that, you can sometimes get rewarded. So the subconscious knows. It knows, it's always watching, it's always recording. It knows that, if I just do this little, if I just take this long where I know I shouldn't, if I just add a few contracts when I know I shouldn't, it may work, but long term, that's not going to pay us, right? So again, it's kind of like what I said. It's an attempt to alleviate the feeling of right now. And it's not, we're not even giving thought to, end of day regret, or, reflecting in a week from now, or doing a weekly review. So it is something that is definitely hard to overcome, but really have to ground yourself in following rules, respecting your process. And it's not to say that it is going to be like a straitjacket forever, your rules, but they are there for a purpose, right? Some restriction is good. Keep pushing forward, keep moving forward. The name of the game is survival. If you're surviving, you're still in it, right? It's the name of the game. Be prudent with risk management. Watch if your emotions are getting the best of you, and just work on signing out. Work on logging off. If you have a physical sensation. I think it's common for most people where you get that kind of, for me, it was always like palms sweating. If my palms start to sweat, oh man, I know I'm liable to do some damage, So if you have I don't know if it's like this for everyone, but if you do have like a physical sensation with tilt, I think a lot of people do. Maybe you start to feel hot, start to sweat a little bit. You can notice your heart rate increasing. If you have any of that, that's like your sign to step away, get out of the office, get away from the desk at least for like half an hour. Just try and cool off, because nothing good is gonna come after that. Benny, my neck hurts. Yeah, if you get that a little tension like in your traps, oh yeah, that's a common one for sure. If your body is responding, like your physical body is responding to something on the charts, you're entering like a fight or flight mode. You're probably going to do some damage to the account, like just being honest. So it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. But I say that because it's a signal. It's a signal. It's a warning. And the goal, because what happened, I was just talking with Sam about this yesterday, but what happens is at first when we go on tilt, we don't even know we're doing it. It's just like we do it, and then at the end of the day, we look back and we're like, what the hell even happened here? Then you start to notice you have some awareness of it, and you're doing it anyway. That's actually sounds weird, but it's actually a good spot to be, because you're recognizing that you're doing it, and now the next step is to jump in front of it. Like you gotta have a stop loss on your own on yourself. Think about these things. It's not that we get rid of the emotions ever. We're not robots, right? It's just that you don't act on them. You stop acting on them in the same way that you may have previously. How long does it take to establish the self stop loss? I think it varies from person to person. Journaling helps. Journaling definitely helps. Just like reflecting. I always did like voice notes to myself in the car. I'd be like driving to the gym, just kind of talk it out with yourself. That may sound a little crazy, but whatever you need to do to reflect and just kind of process and then try and create a game plan. But journaling is a good one.